Now we are converting from standard form to vertex form. To be able to do this, you need to know how to complete the square. So we need to complete the square. It's very, very similar. It's going to look a little bit different. This f of x is going to stay here each time. So we have this x squared plus 10x minus 13. The difference between this and complete the square is we're going to keep this 13 over here. So remember, to complete the square, I have to have x squared plus 10x plus blank. The difference here is I'm going to bring this negative 13 down. And instead, normally if it was on the other side, we'd put a plus blank. But since it's on the same side, if this is a plus blank, this needs to be a minus blank. These two blanks are exactly the same. We need to remember the formula for that is b over 2 squared. So our b is 10. 10 over 2 squared. 10 over 2 is 5. 5 squared is 25, and that's what I'm putting in both of my blanks. So now, that's our first step. Second step is to factor. Once we do that, f of x equals, if I factor this part, so factor just the parenthesis part. Remember, these are your perfect squares, so square root of x squared is x, plus square root of 25 is 5, squared. And then if I need to combine these two here, so combine back. So negative 13 minus 25 makes negative 38. And this is in vertex form. So that one is done. Now number 2. Same thing. We need to first complete the square. So we're going to take our first two numbers, that x squared plus 24x plus blank. Bring down that 145. But remember, it's minus blank. Okay, so to fill in the blank, we need to do 24 over 2 squared. 24 over 2 is 12. 12 squared is 144. Put those in both my blanks. Remember, we need to factor this, combine this. So bring down our f of x. If I factor this, it's perfect squares, so square root of x squared is x, plus square root of 144 is 12. Remember to square it. 145 minus 144 is 1. It's now in vertex form. Three is different because it has a number up front. And just like when we completed the square, it has to be a 1. So what I need to do is I'm going to take this 2, we're going to divide a out of the first two terms. So that 2 is going to get divided out of this and this, just these two. So 2 divided by 2 just makes that as an x squared. That negative 8 becomes a negative 4x when I divide. I'm going to put my plus blank because now I'm going to come back to my steps from here and complete the square. Bring down my 3 minus. Now in this blank, this 2 that's over here has to come and be here too. So we're going to take 2 times whatever we get for this blank. So I'm going to make a little note. Don't forget to put a in the blank. So our steps are still the same. So now we need to complete the square. So negative 4 over 2 squared. Negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. So 4 and 4. So now we need to factor what's inside and combine the back. So bring down our f of x. Then we need to bring down our 2. factor the inside. Square root of x squared is x, minus square root of 4 is 2. Then 3 minus 2 times 4. Plug in a calculator, do it in your head, and you will get that that is negative 5. We're going to do the same thing for 4 here. Okay, so we first need to take our 5 out of the first two. So that is x squared minus 10x plus, and leave our blanks, plus that 128. Now minus, remember that 5 comes right here, times blank. We need to fill in our blanks, so negative 10 over 2 squared. Negative 10 over 2 is negative 5 squared is 25. So 25 here and 25 here. Remember to bring down our g of x, f of x, whatever it is. That 5 comes down. Factor this. So square root of that is x minus square root of 25 is 5. If I plug this in the calculator, I will get plus 3. And that is our answer. Now, I want you to try some on your own. F of x equals x squared plus 16x minus 12. And f of x equals 3x squared minus 18x plus 7.